Welcome to 12 Hop Flop, the podcast where we dig deep into burrows of joy, success, and yes, hoppiness. I'm your host Floppy, and trust me, I've got a nose for sniffing out some truly heartwarming tales. Today, we're chatting up a storm about triumph and happiness. You know, rabbits, we're known for our hops, but not just because it's how we get around. Each leap, dear listeners, it's a tiny triumph of our own. So let's talk about what it means to be hoppily ever after. Think about a garden after a long cold winter, where the first green shoots triumph over the frost. These stories of victory, they're like that. They're a break into sunshine, a nibble on the first fresh greens of spring. When another bunny dashes across the field, zigging and zagging away from troubles, we cheer them on from our side of the fence. Because we get it, life is no easy feat, whether you're hopping or walking on 2 feet. Let me share a story about one particular triumph. There was this human faced with a mountain that seemed too steep to climb. Yeah, a metaphorical mountain, but daunting nonetheless. They kept at it, pushing through, placing one foot after another. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's not. Each attempt to overcome is kind of like me trying to reach that one pesky dandelion leaf that's just out of reach. And when they finally reached their goal, the joy was palpable, like when I finally get that leaf and it's as delicious as I imagined. That's the taste of success, my friends, sweet and satisfying. Ever seen a rabbit do a binky? That's what we do when we're over the moon with joy, a twisty jump that says, I'm so happy I can't keep my paws on the ground. Humans have their own versions of binkies, I suppose. It could be a fist pump, a high five, or maybe a celebratory dance. It's that moment when hard work, perseverance, and a bit of rabbit's footluck come together to cook up a stew of happiness. Let me hop into a tender story of happiness that reminds me so much of the bond I have with 8-Bit. 2 humans. They'd been apart for what seemed like an eternity. Then the stars aligned and they found each other once again. The joy that unfolded was like watching the sun break through after a stormy day. In the rabbit world, there's nothing quite like finding the perfect grooming partner, someone who understands just where those itchy spots are. For humans, I think it's finding that person who knows your heart, maybe even better than you do. When they were reunited, it was the purest form of elation, a reminder that love and joy are worth every hop through the rough patches. For us rabbits, community is everything. A warren is not just a place, it's a living, breathing gathering of stories, of lives intertwining. Humans aren't so different, with their families, friends, communities. When one thrives, it's like ripples in a pond. A single bunny's triumph can inspire a whole warren, and that's what these stories are about, kindling the spark of courage, hope, and joy in others. Now remember, not every day is going to be a hop in the park, but every triumph, be it tiny like a dandelion seed or grand like an oak tree, deserves its moment in the sun. Sometimes we need to be reminded that the key to hoppily ever after is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of hope. Thank you for burrowing down this rabbit hole with me on 12 Hop Flop. If you've enjoyed today's tales, do the bunny hop over to that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're feeling hoppy about it, and share with your friends. Every little bit helps us continue bringing these stories to you. Thanks for listening. And may all your days end as hoppily as a rabbit in a field of clover. Until next time, keep your whiskers twitching and your heart listening for those stories of triumph and happiness that bound around just waiting to be found.